If you work a 9 to 5, here's how to lose weight without tracking calories. Tracking calories can be a little bit troublesome for people that are working 9 to 5 because sometimes you'll be ordering takeout for lunch and it's very hard to actually estimate what is in the meal that you have just ordered. So this is all the things that I've done when I was working a 9 to 5 as a software engineer, so I hope that this will help you out. If you don't track your calories, it might take additional time for you to reach your weight loss goals. So if you're okay with that, then we'll just get on with the video. The first thing that you can do if you don't want to track calories is to instead track your weight every single day. I've written some notes over here. The reason why we want to track your weight every single day is because it really gives you a rough idea of how much you should eat for the given day. If the previous day you weighed about 70 kilograms and the next day you weighed in at about 70.5 kilograms, this means that for this given day you need to be eating less calories in order to be on track to lose weight. Try not to be too emotional with the number on the scale. It can be due to many various factors such as gain in water weight, or you simply just ate a lot of sodium the previous day, which resulted in this water weight gain. So just take this data as an objective measure of where you are at currently for the day and don't be too attached to it. Weight loss occurs over a period of time, so it's very normal to see these fluctuations in your weight. So don't be too emotional about it, and as long as you see a gradual trend in your weight going down, then it's a very good sign already that you're reaching your weight loss goals. That's the very important thing. You need to be tracking weight every single day in order to see if you're actually losing weight. Since we're not tracking calories here, we need to track something else to help us give this measure that okay, we're headed in the right direction. Data is a very powerful thing and we want to make use of the data over here, and we will make use of our weight. If we don't track our weight, if we don't track our calories, we don't do this both, then it's really very difficult for you to even have a good measure of whether you're in the correct direction for your weight loss goals. The second thing that we want to do is to increase your activity levels. This is such a big thing. If you actually increase the number of steps you're taking every single day, I highly recommend that you take about 8 to 10,000 steps. When you actually do that, this burns an extra 300 to 400 calories every single day, and that is a huge thing. When I was working at 9 to 5, that's what I noticed because I started to commute to work. I started taking the train, and because you had to transfer the different lines to get to the destination and stuff like that, there was a lot of walking involved in between going to the different train lines. That was when I realized that my overall step count of the day was higher and I was actually losing weight without even trying. The very powerful thing about increasing your activity levels is that first of all, it's very seamless and you can do it as part of your day. You don't have to spend additional time doing cardio, such as when you're out running, you need to spend an additional 30 to 45 minutes, particularly just to run. When you increase your activity levels, meaning walking more steps, you can actually do it while you're like walking to lunch and ordering some food for takeout, or in between commute when you're walking to different stations, etc. Or if you're just walking with a bunch of colleagues, walking with some friends after work, you're also clocking in these steps and you're increasing your activity levels. You're still doing whatever you need to do in life, running errands, doing your work, etc. But you're also burning the extra calories. So it's super powerful thing that I feel is really a game changer while I was working in 9 to 5. That's what I really noticed that helped me a lot. The third thing is to eat a rotation of foods that you know work for you. So I didn't actually prepare every single meal while I was working in 9 to 5 because I'm lazy, and you know, sometimes you're just kind of stressed out with work, so you want to take something that is more convenient because after work you only have this amount of time left and sometimes you're just kind of tired, so you just take the easy way out basically. The thing about ordering takeout is that try and order the foods that you know will work for you. For example, for lunch, what I typically do is that I actually rotate between a set of foods that I know are naturally pretty low calorie and also nutrient dense in order to make sure that I am full after the meal. For example, I order a bowl, like a salad bowl kind of thing, where I have tons of vegetables, potatoes. Potatoes are super good. They're super filling for the low amount of calories they have, so it really keeps you full throughout the day. I also have a bunch of proteins, such as chicken. What you want to order when it comes to your protein is you want to order leaner sources of protein. This means chicken breasts, or lean beef, lean pork, or even lean fish. That's also a really good option. And other things that I order is just generally more grilled foods instead of fried foods. So just try and experiment around the foods that are around your area and when you actually measure your weight and track your weight every single day, you will know what you are eating that is causing that weight gain. So if you see that your weight is dropping when you're eating this particular food, then you know that, oh, that's the food that I should be eating every single day. And you just rotate amongst this different set of foods that you have, because unless you're like a psychopath or something and you want to eat the same food every single day, then that's also completely fine. But honestly, I prefer more variety, so I would just stick to a different set of foods every single day. So this actually keeps your calorie intake rather predictable, because you know that those sets of foods are lower calorie in nature. Then if you find that you kind of hit a plateau with that, then just adjust the servings accordingly, such as having slightly less rice, slightly less carbs, etc. The fourth thing that you want to do is to space your meals out equally. When we're actually working and stuff, we get caught up with like the busy work, and we just want to try and finish and focus on this task for a long period of time. The thing that happens is that you will go for like 4, 5, or even 6 hours without food. What happens is there's a higher chance of you having the need to binge on something, because when you go on longer hours without food, more likely than not, you will have this urge to, damn, I need to eat something nice. You have this kind of hunger that kicks in, and that is when it's very hard to be disciplined with your weight loss journey. So the smarter thing to do is try and ensure that you space your meals out very equally. It ensures that you don't go hungry for so long periods of time that causes you to binge. So if you're having meals that are regularly spaced out, there's less likelihood of you going out for crazy binge and just going to the pantry and have some snacks, these sort of things. And the snacks really add up. So it's all these small things that are super important when you're trying to lose weight without tracking your calories and you're in the office. The fifth thing is to try and cut out all the sweet drinks. Not all, but try and cut out as much sweet drinks as you can. This means that when you go on the coffee run, try not to get the hazelnut lattes. These are all very calorie dense because they're adding all these extra sugars and syrups. Also milk, because typically they'll use whole fat milk, which is higher in calories as compared to skim milk, lower fat milk. So when you cut out on these sweet drinks, it really adds up, because you can estimate that it will be about 200 to 300 calories for that sweet drink itself. And it's really the small things that add up. Instead of ordering the hazelnut latte, the caramel latte, try and order a simple black coffee or just have tea instead. These are very low in calories, maybe even 0 calories. So it really helps you a lot in your weight loss journey. The sixth thing is when you're ordering takeout, you want to be very strategic with it. It goes back to my point on the fact that eating a rotation of foods that work for you. You want to pick options that are generally boiled or grilled with minimal sauces. A lot of the sauces are the source of calories when it comes to takeout food. An example is when you order a sweet and sour chicken, or they call it orange chicken in America, right? It's the sauce, the sweet sauce that they add in, that contributes to a lot of the calories, together with how it's prepared. Typically it will be deep fried, and then when you add in the extra sweet sauce and all these kinds of sugars, it really adds up to the calories. So when you order takeout food, try not to get a lot of sauces and pick those boiled or grilled options, so that there's not a lot of oil that is used to cook the food, and thus it will be a lower calorie meal. Those are the things that I would recommend if you're trying to lose weight without tracking calories. What this will do is that, first of all, it helps to reduce the number of calories that you're intaking, because you're making smarter food choices. You're choosing low calorie food options that will work, that are generally nutrient dense whole foods. This will take care of the calorie intake part of your calorie deficit. Then combining that with the high activity levels that I've mentioned earlier, that will burn an extra few hundred calories. When you combine these two things, you can effectively have a 600 to 700 calorie deficit lesser from what you are typically eating. Because if you're eating nutrient-dense whole foods, the thing is, there's only so much nutrient-dense whole foods that are low calories that you can eat until you feel super full. You ever ate a potato and feel pretty full compared to eating a medium fries from McDonald's? You can just keep eating the medium fries from McDonald's and you won't feel as full as eating just like a medium-sized potato. That's the difference that I wanted to share. When you're eating nutrient-dense whole foods, it makes you way more full compared to just processed foods that are so much more calorie dense that does not really help in your weight loss journey. It's very important that you have these strategic steps to help you in making your weight loss more convenient, especially when you're working a 9 to 5. The biggest challenge when working a 9 to 5 is that it's very difficult to control things because you will be outside in the office, and the foods that you eat, it might not be the most controllable, especially if you're not preparing your meals and bringing them to the office. That would be the most ideal scenario if you actually prepare your meals and brought it to the office. So you will know that your calorie intake is very controlled, as you're the one that prepared the meal yourself. You already know how much calories is roughly going to be in that meal. But sometimes life happens when you're busy working, and you just need a convenient fix. So these are the steps that I would take if I want that convenient fix. It still takes effort, it still takes discipline. That is what I want to say. And weight loss really takes time. It's not like a simple boom, you just lose weight. You really have to put in the effort to lose that weight, and it really involves a shift in your habits, a shift in your overall lifestyle. But if you make it a sustainable change, and if you really want to be someone that identifies as a healthy person, that's the effort that you will have to take into it. And going about this way of weight loss without tracking calories is going to take a slightly longer time because you're not as accurate with it. However, it is definitely very possible to lose weight while not tracking calories. It just takes an additional time, and if you're okay with that, then that's perfectly fine. Not everybody is in a rush to lose weight, and if you're one of them, then check out the steps that I've mentioned earlier, play back the video, and I really hope that it helps you out. If you need more accountability in your weight loss goals, then I highly recommend that you check out my one-on-one fitness coaching service down in the description below. Over there, I'll provide you a customized workout plan, customized sample meal plans as well, and also accountability by always being there for you every single day if you have any questions, and also guiding you through to make sure that you actually hit your weight loss goals. So if you're interested, check that out. If you need any more other weight loss videos, I've actually made 2 other videos over here that you can check out that will really help you in your weight loss goals when it comes to working a 9 to 5, how you can make it more convenient for yourself, and also just general tips